I sought solace from a string of misfortunes. Mom die, broke up with the girl, and lose my job. I decided to take the job on the island with the beautiful place. Little did I know the terrifying experiences that awaited me, but as a non-believer in ghosts like me, it was not a problem at all just to heal my body and soul in the beautiful place. My arrival at the island started well enough and everyone around was kind people. As I settled into my room, the air seemed heavy with a foreboding presence. Strange phenomena unfolded before my eyes, from flickering lights to unexplained gusts of wind. It was clear that this place held more than just rumors of ghosts. Something sinister lurked within these walls. I decided to explore the surrounding area. The island was a remote island. A small group of people lived there, and the hotel locates at the center of the island. My boss calls me for a job as a security guard at the hotel today night. I offer you $800 for tonight. Following the due, I start the job tomorrow. Never mind, I take the offer. The boss told me to find Kim, my roommate, to prepare to do work at night. That late night, I come to the hotel with an offer from my boss, and there I meet Senior Bob, who does a guard here for several years. He told me to go check at the east of the hotel, and after that, stay inside the staff room at all times, don't go anywhere else. I don't want to be stuck here alone at night, so I asked if there is anyone else that can come here. Senior Bob said that nobody is coming here now because it was too late already. I asked him why he's still here then. Because I need to take care of the hotel, he said, and you're new, so you'll need to learn how to manage everything. Then we talked about our experience here. He said that many weird things are happening here. He saw a shadow of a man walking outside the hotel, and he didn't say anything to me because he thought I wouldn't believe him and made me scared for no reason. He left and tell me that he's going to check around the place and leave me here at the front desk of the hotel. I hear the voice of the phone, but no one there. I decide to receive a phone call from a 09 room. Help me, please help me. At first I thought it was just a joke, but then I realized that she needs help. I rushed to that room, but I heard someone call me from behind. It was Annie, who is a caretaker of the hotel. She here for a decade and know everything well. She came running and asked me what happened. Why did I rush there? She asks me what room that calling me, and I told her that room 09, and she said that room had been abandoned for a long time. Trust me, don't go there. But I got a phone from that room and it called me, and I answer it. And the voice was so weak and scared. When I answered the phone, the voice was saying, "Help me, please. Help me." Yes, I know this is not the first time, and again, don't go to that room anyway. I am going to look at that room right now. While I am going to the A09 room, I saw something on the clear roof of the cafeteria. It is a dark black shadow. It was a big man standing in the middle of the roof and looking down at me. I feel so scared I can't move and I start to shake. I try to get away from that thing, but I can't even lift my leg. My leg's like frozen. My mind becomes blank and I just sit there until somebody comes. "Hey you," shouted the guy who saved me. "What happened?" she asked. "I can't move," I replied. "Why?" I could barely speak. All I could do was moan in fear. "There's something wrong," I managed to say. "Something's wrong." I looked over at Annie, hoping she'd understand what I meant. Her face was pale, her hands were trembling. As she stood in the doorway watching me, I knew exactly what I saw. She understood. Annie tried to approach, but I waved her off. "Don't." Her eyes narrowed. "You're sure?" "Yeah." "What did you see?" "It is a dark black shadow." It was a big man standing in the middle of the roof and looking down at me. Annie didn't wait for me to complete the sentence. She pulls me up from the floor. I felt her hand shaking. "Let's go outside," she said. "We need fresh air." She takes me to the front desk. I better explain what happens before anyone else comes. Annie suggests you should stay in the staff room. She also offers me a glass of water. After all that happened today, I needed some rest. When I get there, I meet Bob, one of the guards. He trembling in fear and prayer. I know why he trembles so much. Since we last met, he told me that he will check every nook and cranny of the building, but he had been here all along. I go to a corner of the room, sit there, and think that what I just saw wasn't a figment of my imagination. I'm still shocked, but I have to be calm. The room is cold and silent. Bob asked me if everything was all right. He seems like he wants to tell me something, but he keeps quiet. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Why was Bob suddenly frightened? Is this true that we are living inside the haunted hotel? After 10 minutes, I realize that Bob is still staring at me. His face is red. He looks nervous. When I ask him what's wrong, he simply answers nothing. I don't believe him. "Bob, I've seen something," I said. "Something very scary." Bob instantly stand up as if he didn't hear my last words. "What?" he asked. "Are you serious?" "Yes," I replied. "It was dark and shadowy, and then it vanished." Bob started to tell the history of the A09 room. It was originally the room of Mr. Ebert. In his later years, Mr. Ebert died of heart disease in that room. But before he died, he left a message behind. The note read, "A09, you are now alone. This is your room. Do not come back. Stay away. Stay far away." Since this room became a model room, many things happened. The door lock and key mysteriously disappear. Then the light bulb, radio, telephone, television, and even the refrigerator stopped working. On top of that, the shower curtain becomes wetter than usual. No one could explain the reason for these mysterious phenomena. Time passed. Annie knocked on the door several times, opened the door, and asked for me to get some rest. "There's no way I'm going to sleep here," I exclaimed. "Why?" Annie asked. "You're fine." I looked around the room and noticed how creepy and cold the atmosphere feels. I decided to take some rest in my room. My body ached after hours of walking around. My room is located at the end of the hallway, which is good since it'll be easier to find in case I need anything else. Before I reach my room, I see the old woman standing outside the door. She's watching me. She smiled when she saw me looking at her. Her smile makes me feel uneasy, and I can sense that there is something odd with her. Overwhelmed by fear, I made a daring decision to run through her. As I sprinted past, an icy chill permeated my being, and I stumbled, falling to the ground. The pain on my leg hurt badly. Just before I lost consciousness, I glimpsed the woman hanging from a tree far away from the building. The next day, I woke up to the loud noise of people nearby. They tried to untie the rope that hanged the woman from the tree. The police officers came too, asking me questions. They took me to the hospital and treated my injury. After a few days, they released me and told me everything would go well. In conclusion, the woman wasn't a ghost, but a human being who committed suicide because of the trauma and stress caused by the events that occurred in the hotel, and the ghost of the old woman who was in my room and died due to her negligence. I just cannot understand why they are here. They are always appearing whenever I am alone. There is something weird about this whole situation, and I'm starting to doubt myself if I am crazy. The truth came to light when Bob took me to see something unbelievable. "What you see here is the oblation, an offering to the ghost and me who have destroyed them accidentally," Bob said. "This is what you have done. Now you have paid for it." I decided to leave the island as soon as possible, abandoning my job and any remnants of my former skepticism. The encounters with the supernatural had left an indelible mark on my soul, forever changing me into a man deeply fearful of ghosts and the harrowing mysteries that lie hidden within the shadows.